Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining the live stream for today. From Brahmi to modern scripts, the fascinating evolution of Indic writing systems. Discover the hidden connections and scientific foundations that link ancient Brahmi to today's Indic scripts. Unveil the beauty and logic behind these timeless writing systems. Join us on an enlightening journey through the history of Indic scripts, tracing the evolution from the ancient Brahmi to modern scripts. This presentation delves into the logical and scientific foundations laid by Brahmi, exploring the unifying principles that connect the ancient and modern Indic scripts. We'll also be highlighting the beauty of varnamalas, which have inherited the strict phonetic nature of their Brahmi parent. Whether you are a linguistic enthusiast, a history buff, or simply curious about the roots of modern writing system, this stream is for you. Let's invite our usual guest, Radha Krishna ji, who has been on the show multiple times, and I would still like to introduce him. Hello, Radha Krishna ji.
Namaskar, Shruti ji, and namaskar all viewers.
Yes. Okay, so let me introduce Radha Krishna ji. Radha Krishna ji is an engineer by profession and is deeply interested in such non-engineering subjects as ancient science, modern science, history, linguistics, astronomy, and anthropology as related to Bharat. Originally from Kerala, India, Radha Krishna ji obtained his bachelor's degree in electronics and communication engineering half a century ago and immediately afterwards joined the Indian Space Research Organization as a young engineer. After working at ISRO for 21 years in the field of radio frequency and microwave communication as related to satellites and launch vehicles, he continued his career abroad. He also obtained his master's degree in engineering in Dalhousie University in Halifax, Canada. After working for many years in Canada in the same radio frequency and microwave communication field in different companies and in different cities of Canada, he came to the US 9 years ago. He has been living with his wife in the city of Renton for past 8 years and has been working in the field of radio frequency and microwave communication for positive train control. His son, daughter-in-law, and two young grandsons live in Halifax in Canada. So pleased to have you on the show, Radhakrishna ji.
Thank you.
All right. So for our viewers, to get started, do you want to talk a little bit about what Lipi is? I know from all the written texts on the presentation, I only know the word Lipi here. How to read it, basically.
So, Lipi means script. What is written is Lipi.
Mhm.
And writing is a wonderful thing, a wonderful, what do you call it?
Art.
Innovation
Yeah.
humanity made. And with writing, knowledge can be transferred to others, to, to the masses, and also it can be transferred across generations.
That's right.
So,
Right.
writing was a wonderful innovation. And coming back to Lipi, Lipi is the script. The
Yeah.
written script is Lipi. And we are going to discuss how the Indian Lipis evolved, Indian scripts evolved from ancient Brahmi. And I hope that's an interesting topic for you all.
Yeah. I think it should be because I feel like from schools, I only know how to write English or I know how to write Devanagari script for Marathi or Hindi or other languages. And somehow in my mind, I have this wired as language is related to a script. So if you are speaking a language, it is in certain script, but not really. You could use any script to say any language as long as it has the pronunciations in it, I guess. For example, in
Yes,
modern day, you also type out in Hindi, but you're using English letters. People still get it, right? So it's a script that
yes,
you're
yes.
using to talk about a language. I just
Also,
particularly,
and another interesting thing is that there is no specific lipi for Sanskrit. Sanskrit has been written in almost all the scripts
yeah.
of India, starting from Brahmi to even Urdu. I have seen a Urdu Bhagavad Gita. So it is so cumbersome to write in Urdu, but they have done that also.
Wow. Okay, so script for Urdu can also be used for Sanskrit, is what we are saying.
But approximately, because some of the
Pronunciations
sounds are not there in Urdu script.
makes sense.
And Urdu script is very deficient when coming to represent vowels.
Yeah,
They can, but they don't. That's a problem.
I see. And what is it that we are seeing in this picture, Radhakrishna ji? I see a beautiful lady who is writing. So where is this
Yes,
from?
that is wonderful. See, that is a sculpture from Khajuraho. It
Hmm.
was in Khajuraho temple, but since some of the temples were partially damaged,
Hmm.
uh, the government has taken it away from there and kept it in a museum in Delhi. And that shows a lady writing. See,
Right.
writing was so prevalent, means ladies were writing. We would think that, oh, ancient ladies were illiterate. Not at all. They
Yeah.
were literate. They wrote things. And even there is in Malayalam, they say Shakuntala wrote a Prema Lekhanam. Prema Lekhanam means love letter
Yeah.
on lotus leaf to Dushyanta.
Oh wow. Okay, that's beautiful as
So,
well.
so women did write, means that they were literate, they were educated. So this shows that this sculpture shows that.
Absolutely. And I think we have also talked about Leelavati in the past, who was a very well-known mathematician born
Oh
to
yes,
Acharya. We've known from the past that there's also, Rishikas, which is Gautami. There is like a
yes,
lady scientist who is also pretty well known. So obviously, I think ancient India was way more ahead than modern India, I would say. So ladies were not definitely illiterate, and this beautiful sculpture is a very good example of that. So here, let's delve into writing a little bit. I think I've seen different types of writings or scripts. It's usually hard to get to know a new script for sure,
yes,
because in your mind you have like certain letters and those map to a certain types of sounds. When you come
yes,
across a new language, or basically a new script, I shouldn't say a language. So when you come across a new script, it takes a bit to understand. So what
yes.
are these pictures that we are seeing here on the right?
Oh, okay. The top one is the Sindhu Saraswati civilization characters.
Oh.
These characters were this was discovered in Dholavira in Gujarat.
Hmm.
Uh, See, the Sindhu Saraswati civilization spread in a vast area from Harappa, Mohenjo-daro in the Punjab Sindh region to uh, to Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh. So it was a vast area, and this one, they say that it was like a door sign to those who discovered this. It
Yeah.
appeared as if it was a door sign, a signboard, so not door sign, a signboard.
Mhm.
So those are the characters of the Sindhu Saraswati civilization.
Beautiful. So I realized that Sindhu Saraswati civilization script today is not yet, like, it's not decoded yet. What
Yes, yes,
we don't
it's
know.
not means deciphering that has not happened. Of course, so much effort has gone in,
Yeah,
but so far it remains undeciphered.
I see. And the one right below it seems like it is Chinese character, but we are also seeing some symbols there. So how is that
Oh,
related?
okay. The next row is actually cuneiform. Cuneiform script was used in the Middle East area.
Mhm.
So the Sumerians used it, the Akkadians used it, and that is a wedge shaped thing. They actually made the wedge marks on clay
Mhm.
so it was easy to make that, and when the clay dried it would be there. So they have got so many clay tablets carrying this cuneiform script, and it was deciphered, and they could read it. They could understand the Sumerian language, the Akkadian language, and so on. So the top one is actually what is written there is King Assurbanipal of Assyria. The first is
Okay.
about 2000 BC.
Mhm.
The second one is about 643 BCE.
Wow. That's so.
643. And the next one is very interesting. That is how the Chinese characters develop. They are actually pictograms. You can say pictures conveying ideas. They don't convey the pronunciation. they just convey the idea. So here you can see how the idea of sun developed. First, it was a picture of the sun, a simple picture, a circle with a dot. Then it became an elongated thing. Then it became a squarish thing, and finally it became the modern Chinese character. So
Right.
it doesn't represent the pronunciation of the word sun, but
Mhm.
the idea of sun.
Right. So I can see that scripts are I would you say that scripts are, divided in two major groups. One is where it's pictorially represented, and the other one
Yes,
where pronunciations are
yes,
represented.
exactly.
Okay.
Yes,
So that makes sense. So I think all of the ones that are over here below, these are all pictorial ones. We have
yes,
Egyptian heliographs, and we have like
yeah,
Mayan culture, and
yes, mine.
yeah. So I think I now realize why it was so hard for me to learn Chinese or Japanese, because it's pictorially represented. That's how I think they also have Japanese have something called as hiragana and katakana, which also
Yeah,
talk about pronunciations, and then the
exactly.
kanjis, which talk about pictorial representation of
Victoria,
this.
exactly.
Beautiful. Amazing. So this is great. And let's talk more about what Brahmi as a script is. For example,
Yes,
where was it used, or has that one
yes.
been deciphered, for example?
Yeah, Brahmi has been deciphered, whereas the Sindhu Saraswati script is not yet deciphered. So we can say that Brahmi is the oldest deciphered script of India.
Hmm.
So and we have plenty of engravings in Brahmi all over India, right from Gandhara, Afghanistan, or even beyond, from Bactria
Hmm.
to Kerala. It is there. So from north to south, and from Patliputra, and even east from Lumbini. Lumbini is in Nepal.
Yeah,
Lumbini to Gujarat. This Girnar inscription. So it was spread
true.
all over India. And Brahmi, all Indian scripts have evolved from Brahmi and share the same uh, principles, the same, what do you call, I'll say architecture. For I'm not getting a better word. So that's the same architecture, the same principles are
Yeah,
shared by modern scripts and Brahmi alike.
right. So we what we are saying is foundation is same, and then
Yes,
we have evolved different types of scripts from that
exactly.
foundation, or that set of rules maybe that Brahmi has.
Yes,
So I suppose this title here is actually Brahmi in Brahmi script, right?
yes, that the title is Brahmi in Brahmi script. Yes.
Okay, so
Actually, it's a good thing. I can type in Brahmi now.
oh,
Our people have Unicode. Brahmi is there.
yeah.
From keyboard, you can type Brahmi.
Interesting. So, while growing up in India or being in schools, I was probably not taught this particular script of Brahmi. And
Yes,
also knew very less about this one, because I think modern Devanagari script is maybe then evolved from Brahmi itself.
yes.
So we know that one.
Actually, unfortunately, we were not taught about Brahmi at all. Means I didn't know that a script like Brahmi existed while I was in school.
Yeah. Yeah, very true. I think it's a little bit lost in time maybe, but today we'll rejuvenate it.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are these engravings that we see? I think this is thankfully it is on stone, so it cannot be erased in any fashion, which is good.
Yeah, yeah, yes. That's very interesting. That is Ashoka's Brahmi inscription. It is in Karnataka.
Mhm. So it's
I can read. Panditji is asking if I can read
Brahmi.
Brahmi, but not fluently because I have gone through this very slowly. I can read.
Yeah, I think it's hard. I mean, with scripts, it takes a bit. I remember when I
Yeah, a
learned,
lot of time. It,
yeah, any
it-
language you learn, it takes a bit to start reading it, because
yes,
it has to be gone through. You have to go through multiple, uh,
yes, and
you know,
ingrained in the brain. Otherwise, it is difficult.
very true. Okay, so this is one of Ashoka's edict,
Yeah.
and it mentions his name, it seems like.
Yes, this mentions his name. If you see the top,
Yeah.
it says Devanam Piya Sa Asoka. There is no Sha in Prakrit. Sha
Oh.
becomes Sa.
Hmm.
So of course some Prakrit have sha, but most of them didn't have sha. So even now, if you hear a Bihari speak, Bihari will say sa for sha. Still
Right,
now, even now.
right.
So,
But I think it's just a different language though. Prakrit is different and Sanskrit is different. They are similar but not same.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they are very closely related. If you know Sanskrit well, it's not difficult to understand Prakrit.
I see.
So what is written is Devanam Piya Sa Asoka.
Hmm.
Devanam Piya means dear to the gods. Priya means dear to
Yeah.
the gods. It is the same in Sanskrit. It will be the Devanam Priya, and in Prakrit it it is the Devanam Piya. Means they have simplified conjunct
Ah,
letters.
yeah. I
So
can so Priya is very common. I think it's also Vishnu Priya or
yeah,
or,
yes, yes,
yeah, it's that.
exactly.
Yeah. Beautiful.
And this was found in Karnataka. See, so much south.
Yeah, for sure. And this is also again, I want to highlight this to the viewers that languages can be Prakrit and Sanskrit both are being written in Brahmi in this discussion.
Yes,
And in
yes, yes.
modern day, we think of Sanskrit as only as Devanagari, but try to
No,
imagine
see,
that
actually,
another
when the engravings were made, Devanagari didn't exist.
exists.
Devanagari evolved from Brahmi. So at that time, Sanskrit was also written in Brahmi.
Right. And I think this is another one of Ashoka's edicts.
Yes.
Again, I think engraved in stone. Can you
Yes,
tell a little bit more about this?
exactly. So this is in Lumbini. As I said, Lumbini is in Nepal, and Lumbini is where Buddha was born. When
Yeah.
I say it is Gautama Buddha, Siddhartha, who was Siddhartha in his means before he became Buddha.
Yeah.
So Ashoka became a Buddhist, a staunch Buddhist, and he wanted to spread the dharma. The Buddhist religion, they call it Buddha Dharma. So he wanted to spread the dharma everywhere in the world.
Right.
And here, what he says is that Devanam Piyena Piyadasina Lajina Visati. Visati means Vimshati,
Mhm.
20th.
Mhm.
Visati Vasabhishitena. Vasabhisitena means Vasa is Varsha, and Abhisitena means Abhishek.
Yeah.
So he became anointed. He became after his anointing as king. After 20 years, Visati Vasa means Vimshati Varsha, 20 साल,
Mhm.
20 वर्ष.
Yeah.
So, अतना आगच्छ महीते हिदा बुधे जाते साक्यमुनीति इति
Mhm.
इति. Means, um, he came himself and worshipped this spot because the Buddha was born here. So this shows his staunch Buddhist allegiance.
Yeah. He's dedication towards Gautam Buddha.
Yes.
And oh, this is beautiful. So this word Visati, I think you said 20, and I know in Marathi also we say Vis for 20.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
come from that one.
It came from that. See, actually, Sanskrit evolved. Sanskrit was perfected or standardized. Some krita, Samskrita.
Mm,
So it was made perfect. It was refined. It
mhm,
was refined from the common speech, and the common speech became Prakrit. Then means not one Prakrit, different Prakrits. Then
mhm,
those different Prakrits became what Apabhranshas.
mhm.
Then Apabhranshas became modern North Indian languages. So Marathi is definitely related to
Yeah.
Prakrit and Sanskrit.
I can understand. So I think I also read this book called as Story of Human Languages, which mentions exactly this. The modern languages of French or Italian. They say that if you were like maybe 800 years ago, people would say, "Oh, they are just talking bad Latin." They are not talking pure Latin. Now those have
Yes,
evolved to be their own languages. That is how that
exactly.
yeah, that's how you said with Apabhransha. It is more like you are slight
Yeah,
having slight variation from the original language, but the
yes.
languages over time evolve so much that they become their own language. And so
Yes,
you're saying like North Indian. That makes so much sense. And
yes,
also want to give some credits for standardizing Sanskrit here. Do you want
yes,
to talk a
yes,
little bit about why
yes.
it was standardized?
Actually, from the common speech, they standardized. Why is standardization necessary? Two things. One, the natural language varies from place to place geographically. Okay, and then also it changes as the time passes. So if you write in a natural language, it will soon become what do you call
Something else.
unintelligible. Okay, people
Right.
will not understand it. So standardization is necessary, and our ancient people found that it has to be standardized
Right.
so that they could converse. Means it was a pan-Indian language. Means across India you have to communicate. So Sanskrit was the language. So
Common.
they standardized it. We know that Panini has the Sanskrit grammar standardization, but it must have started even before Panini. Much
Yeah.
before Panini, the process might have started, and Panini finalized it.
Right. He compiled it basically, but
Yeah, he compiled it.
huge credit to him
Exactly.
because I feel like this same book that I talked about earlier, Story of Human Languages, it also talks about how the pronunciations eventually change with time because
Yes.
people find it hard to pronounce something.
Yes.
For example, food at a time was called as food because of which we
Yeah.
have O's, but people found it hard to pronounce, so it's now it's food. We kind of drop it. I think that might be the reason because over time I have seen that
Yes.
languages change in a way that their pronunciations change with whatever
Change.
people find easy. The other thing is their meanings also could change. So in Shakespeare and
Yes.
plays, you could see that he's mentioning, "Can you help these silly women?" Uh, you know. So I'm like, why is he calling women silly? But at the time, silly was a word which was used for innocent. It is not,
Yes.
crazy. So
Yes.
in
Yes.
modern time, it has changed its meaning. So I think the
Yes.
point of standardizing Sanskrit or compiling the standardization of Sanskrit by Panini, I believe would be for this reason that you don't change it over time,
Exactly.
or you don't mix it up with
Yes.
something. So I love.
Because that because Sanskrit has to means Sanskrit was used for so many different subjects like scientific subjects. So there the meaning has to be one. Means
Yeah,
otherwise you will not
everything.
understand. You cannot be specific. So
Right.
um, Sanskrit was used for astronomy. Sanskrit was used for mathematics. Sanskrit was used for many other subjects. So you have to actually create even technical terms. So it has to be a perfected language. See, even now in Indian languages, technical terms are created from Sanskrit. Okay.
Yes, that's true. That's amazing. So I think I love the fact that it was standardized. I'm very happy about it for
Yes.
sure, because it wouldn't change its meaning. And I'm truly astonished by the fact that even the Vedas that we say today are the same one that were compiled.
Exactly.
We've
See,
not changed a single pronunciation or meaning of it
oh,
because of that standard.
yes, that's a wonderful thing. See, our ancestors ensured that the Vedas were transmitted without any error, without any change.
Correct.
They insisted on the pronunciation, correct pronunciation. Maybe it is because of that that our Indian languages, Indian scripts are very much focused on the pronunciation, on the phonetic nature. Because in the ancient days, preservation of Veda was one concern, big
Yes.
concern, and they devised so many ways that Vedas would not get corrupted.
Yes. Yes. And in another live stream, I would love to talk about what that technique is. I know a little
Yeah.
bit about it and we'll get it to our viewers as well. Coming back to King Ashok, I think this is another edict from him, which is also in Brahmi. And
Oh
it
yes.
has a special message, which is astonishing because now it seems like it is written for common people. And
Yeah.
it feels like, I used to think that in ancient times, all over the world, common people did not know how to read or write. But this proves it exactly
No,
opposite.
no, there were many people who were able to read and write. So see, that's why Ashoka caused all these edicts to be written. First, it won't go away. If you write in rock, it
Yes.
will be there. Okay. So
Yeah.
and people will read it. So here he's he's saying that no living beings are to be slaughtered
Mm.
or offered in sacrifice. That's
Yeah.
the first two lines, and he's saying so many other things in that edict,
Yeah.
which is about how one should conduct their uh, life.
Hmm. Wow. So
See,
this one
first thing
is,
he says, no killing, no living beings are to be slaughtered. Such a lofty idea,
yeah.
and that happened in India only. I don't think such an idea would come from elsewhere.
Yeah, I can see because I think even like if you think about general masses, right? You have so many things. You have people who eat food like that, people who have traditions or customs around it. So
Yes,
if you are specifically saying this as a king and you mean it, I think it's a big, big deal that
yes,
you are setting it like the English has that phrase, right? We say setting in stone. So we are saying
yeah,
that
sitting is good.
that is what it means because once you put it in
Yes,
stone, you cannot change it. It will stay
yes,
forever. And so here he's telling his
yes,
people that please, like there's going to be no slaughtering or no animal killing for offering in sacrifice. And I am
yes,
assuming this is after he started following Buddha, Gautam Buddha.
yes,
So
yes,
that is very evident from here. Okay, so now that we have talked about so much about Ashoka, let's also talk about other kings who have
yes,
used the Brahmi as a script, and they've tried
yes.
to put inscriptions and rocks as well.
Yes. See, Rudradaman was another king,
Mhm.
and his inscriptions are in Sanskrit, in the perfected language, not in Prakrit.
Yep. Okay.
So he has an inscription in again in Girnar in Gujarat.
Mhm.
Actually, I went to Girnar in my youth, saw the lions, but did not go and see this
Same here.
work.
Yeah, I think because we don't know that these exist and their
Yeah,
importance as well. Uh,
exactly.
but yeah. Mhm.
So in the Girnar inscription is for the repair of a dam. So long before Rudradaman came to, to the scene, 500 years before him, Chandragupta Maurya got a dam built so that water could be stored in a big uh, reservoir called Sudarshana,
Mhm.
which was meant to be used for agriculture. Means people needed water for their uh,
Yeah.
agricultural activities. So, see, ancient Indian kings used to do that, build dams. Even in the deep south, they used to build dams. This Cholas, Pallavas, we
Yes.
called in Malayalam, it's called Anakata. I
Mhm.
think in Tamil, it will be Anikata or something.
Mhm.
So very, very similar word. So those kings built those dams
Yeah.
for the common people. So
Right.
Chandragupta Maurya got a dam built so that a big reservoir could be made, and from which agriculture means water could be diverted for agricultural use,
Right.
and it uh, became damaged in the course of time.
Mhm.
So Rudradaman came. When Rudradaman came, he wanted to repair it, and he got it repaired,
I see.
and he made this inscription. The important thing is that he mentions the work done 500 years ago. He gives credit to all those people. He mentions those people. He mentions what they did.
Yeah.
So this is a record of public works, which means records were kept in ancient India. Otherwise, Rudradaman will not know what happened 500 years ago.
Very true. Very true. I find it very beautiful, Radhakrishna ji, because I feel like this is a cultural mind shift, right? Whenever you read stories from other places, you see that people are trying to say, "This is what I did as a king,"
Yes,
and like I think the credit is mostly like I have done this, but
yes,
here
yes,
he's saying five. This is not me. This is 5 centuries ago. All these
yeah,
people helped in doing their work,
yes,
and I am simply repairing it. So I feel
yes,
like that feeling of humbleness also is very, very evident from the fact that there no doubt that there were records of it, but also the fact that he gave credits to those records.
Yes.
Said that they were the people who
Yes.
actually
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
learned.
That's a very, 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 what do you call, important thing.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
also, every treatise, say whether it is astronomy or mathematics or medicine, they will start by saying that the Purvasuris means those the previous people, they contributed. They'll say that, and then only they will start their this
yeah.
discourse.
Yeah, so I think it's the idea of giving credit, because they are saying that this is not mine. I'm compiling it, yes, for
Yes.
people, but this has come to me from ancestral knowledge, and it's not just me who is thinking about it or me who came up with the idea. So I think that itself is a lot to learn in the modern society. Um, Moving on, again, I think this one is again the fact that I was wrong before, that common people could read. So this is another example of that. What does it say?
Yes. Oh, it's a commoner saying, means it's a display sort of thing. What it says, the Brahmi letters say Krishna Yasasya Arama.
Mhm.
So Arama means garden. It is the garden of Krishna Yashas, a person named Krishna
Yeah,
Yashas.
I see.
So this was found in Himachal Pradesh,
Hmm.
and they say it is from the first or second century CE. CE
Hmm.
means common era, by the way. What we used to call AD, we now call CE. That's a better term.
Yeah.
Similarly, what they used to call BC, now we call BCE, before
Yeah.
the common era or before the civil era or whatever.
Yeah.
So it is for first or second century CE, and this was a commoner. So if people didn't know reading or writing, why would he display
How?
that sign?
For sure. This is again very beautiful. And the word aram also means rest in Marathi. So
Yeah,
it comes from, because you're resting in a garden. I think that
garden. Yes,
meaning kind of maps very, very clearly. This is beautiful. So let's also go towards, I've talked a lot about North Indian languages and a lot about Marathi also, because I am from Pune. But coming to other languages in India as well, how does Brahmi? So Brahmi was also used to write languages in South India, it seems.
yes, definitely. Actually, Brahmi was used. See, Brahmi was used all over India, and
Mhm.
then there is something called South Indian variant of Brahmi, because some of the sounds have to be added, like Ra. Ra is a unique sound for Malayalam and Tamil. Then
Oh.
Ra, the hard Ra,
Mhm.
the na, the alveolar na. So these things are to be added, and they added that and used the Brahmi script for South Indian languages.
I
And
see.
this one was found in Kerala by Mr. Raghav Warrior. He is no relative of mine. He is some other warrior.
Mhm. Got
So
it. So,
so
Preeti here, who is one of the viewers, she's saying very interesting to know that Sanskrit was written in Brahmi script earlier. Do we know, like, when did it switch to Devanagari, or we don't know that?
no, we know it's not a switching. It is a gradual change.
Over
A
time.
gradual change. So Brahmi changed to Gupta Brahmi. Gupta Brahmi became Old Devanagari. Then Old Devanagari became Middle Devanagari. Then Middle Devanagari became Modern Devanagari. So it's a gradual change.
Right. Preeti, we are going to talk a little bit more about how Brahmi came about to become the modern Devanagari. Stick with us for a bit. You will find that very, very interesting.
Sure.
Meanwhile, Radhakrishna ji, you were talking about these extra sounds that the language has. I'm assuming that these scripts, or the ancient Indian scripts or languages, it seems like they were very inclusive of adding these newly found sounds into
Yes,
the scripts as well. So that then these, for these letters as well, there became a representation of those letters also in the language.
exactly.
Okay.
And what it says is that it is saying about, it's saying Karikora Patan Magan Charuma. Magan means son. It is still the word used even now. So this means Charuma, the son of Patan
Mhm.
from Karikora. Karikora is a place name.
Mhm.
So This was actually forwarded to me by a friend, and there's a Hindu news item also about this.
I see. That's amazing. So this script is being, like we said, used all over India. I
Yes,
suppose then it's also had, so because India had so much trade and uh, basically it is on Silk Route. So obviously there's a lot of trade with other countries in the world, or the then notion of countries in the world or other cultures, I should say. So do we say that now because we are also talking about Brahmi coins, they must have traveled a lot
yes.
for,
Oh,
for
yes, yes, yes.
yeah. So what are these coins
Exactly.
we are seeing here?
See, this coin is from a Indo-Greek king. See, actually, after Alexander came to India,
Mhm.
many Greeks settled in the northwest areas, like Bactria. I mean, in the Gandhara region, what is now Afghanistan.
Right.
That is called, means that was Gandhara in the olden days. So in the Gandhara region, and north of that was Bactria. So there also these Greeks settled. They ruled some countries that there. So one of the Indo-Greek kings, Agathocles, this coin is from Agathocles, but many other kings also minted their coins with Brahmi legend.
Wow.
Many other kings, many Indo-Greek kings, then of course Indian kings, they would use only Brahmi.
Yeah. So this makes sense because these coins are going to travel in trade. So
Yes,
both cultures should be able to read it, right? So our culture has.
exactly. Yes,
So in this one, what do we see in particular? Because it also feels like an Indian god or um
yes, exactly. That is very interesting. See, there are two sides of the coin. On one side, it is Balarama with his characteristic hala. Hala means plow. See,
yeah.
Balarama is also called Halayudha. So
Right.
Balarama with his plow and pestle.
Mhm.
So his plow and pestle, and Sri Krishna with his Sudarshana chakra. See that
Ah,
chakra you can see here.
yes. Yes, this is amazing.
And also Shankha. He's holding the Shankha also.
And
See,
chakra.
Vishnu and Krishna are depicted as holding Sudarshana chakra and
Yes.
Shankha.
That's true. And I think that's very particular of Krishna as well, because you cannot mistake it for anyone else. If it is
Yes,
Chakradhari, it is Krishna for sure.
Krishna.
Amazing. So one
And
side,
Balarama is Halayudha. Hala means plow.
correct. That is also very, very particular to Balarama, I think. So this is where we have, on one side we have Balarama or Krishna, and on the other side we have the king's uh,
Yeah.
king
No,
picture.
this no, that's a different coin.
Okay, okay. So
This coin has two sides. One side is Balarama, other side is Krishna.
and but it does mention the king's name here though.
King's name is there very much in both Greek and in Brahmi.
Right,
So the Greek legend says Basilios Agathocles
right.
means King Agathocles. Agathocles in see Agathocles is the Latin form.
Yeah.
Agathocleos is the Greek form.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when we speak English, we use the Latin form. So King Agathocles, he
Mhm.
has written here. See this side, the left one is the Greek one.
Mhm.
On the left is the Greek,
Yeah.
and on the right in Brahmi, in Prakrit, they say Rajane Agathocleesa.
Okay.
Agathocleesa is the Prakrit rendering of the Greek name.
Name. So it is represent, their name is also represented in Brahmi and on the
Yeah.
other side in Greek. So this is
Yes.
amazing.
Yes.
And obviously then both cultures will know how to use it. I
Yes.
think
Yes. Because coin, as you said, coins had to travel.
yeah,
Means
it it's a form of monetary exchange, so
yes.
definitely to travel. So we talked a little bit about Gupta Brahmi when Preeti's question came up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
this I think is an example of Gupta Brahmi. What, like, how did it evolve?
Yes. Exactly. See, the old Brahmi slowly evolved into Gupta Brahmi,
Mhm.
and in you can find plenty of coins in Gupta Brahmi.
I
This
see.
one is Chandragupta Vikramaditya's coin in gold coin, and
Mm.
and below are the inscriptions on the walls of a cave. That cave is named Gopika Cave, and
Mm.
it was uh, that it was done by King Ananta Varman,
Mhm.
and it's in the sixth or fifth or sixth century CE.
Okay. Okay. This would be around Aryabhatta's era, I would say.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. So now let's talk about letters in Brahmi because I
Yeah.
cannot do Brahmi at all. I think I'm going to defer to you.
It's just for fun. I am showing the Brahmi characters. A few, no, not all,
Yeah.
just a few characters.
Yeah.
So it shows first at the top. It shows vowels
Mm-hmm.
like a, e, u, and the next row shows a few consonants ka, kha, ga, gha, nga,
Mm-hmm.
and the third one shows how vowels are how consonants and vowels are joined,
Mm-hmm.
like ka, ki, ki, ku, ku, and of course then kr, so on. I'm just showing only the few,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I think it is called barakhadi in Gujarati, and
Marathi.
maybe in Marathi too.
Yes, yes, it is called Barakhadi, but Barakhadi is more like pronunciations with the sounds. So, for example,
Yes,
ka, ki, kuku. So that is
yes,
Barakhadi. But then I think what you would call like the grouping of letters is still called Varnamala only. So
yeah,
we have a couple of
yes.
interesting things from our audience. Let's also take those questions. So here, I think this is my dad. So he's saying this is most interesting. He loves languages, by the way. He's a very good as well in Marathi. And he's saying this is most interesting because languages in general interest him a lot. And Ishwarji has a question here. What are the key advantages or disadvantages when it comes to using Brahmi for expressing phonetics of Sanskrit? Does it fall like
Actually, Brahmi is perfectly suited to write Sanskrit. There are no disadvantages. See, like Devanagari is perfectly suited to writing Sanskrit.
correct?
Malayalam script is also perfectly suited to writing Sanskrit.
Correct.
Gujarati script is also means any all Indic scripts except Tamil, because Tamil doesn't contain a few of the sounds.
Mhm.
So Brahmi can easily represent all sounds, but Brahmi changed. See, in the course of time, everything changes
Right.
slowly, slowly. Each generation adds some change here. This and scribes add some alankara, some embellishments, and all that.
Right.
Like serifs in English script, you find serifs, small lines,
Yeah.
and you have serif and sans serif
Yeah.
fonts.
Yeah.
So like that, scribes tend to add so many things to beautify their
Like,
writing
yeah.
that eventually changes the whole thing.
The script. Yeah, it makes sense because I think even English has capital letters and then it has cursive
Yeah,
writer. All of those things, I think it comes from the fact that you want to take that pronunciation and beautify it further. And
yeah, right.
in that course, you are a little bit, you're kind of shifting from the.
Changing, you are changing, and also yeah, the content letters are also we still follow that principle. Writing below the character,
Right.
say Ka is written Ka above and Sha below. And
Hmm.
then I like that. Tra with Ta above and Ra below, like
Hmm.
that.
Got it. So these are some examples of Brahmi people. If you want to learn Brahmi, stick with us because we have some interesting, pointers for you to learn it towards the end as
Yes.
fun. So here, what is this Bratti
Oh,
Polu Brahmi?
that is Bhattipralu Brahmi.
Mhm.
But Telugu and Kannada scripts evolved from Bhattipralu Brahmi. It's also a variant of the old Brahmi. As I said, means everything changes over time and geographical distance.
Mhm.
So this evolved from the old Brahmi,
Mhm.
and from this Bhattipralu Brahmi evolved the Telugu and Kannada scripts. And this was found in a village called Bhattipralu in Andhra, and it is this particular inscription is in between third and first century BCE.
Wow. Okay, so this is actually very surprising for me because I always find that the scripts for South Indian languages, I find it hard to follow, but the ones in North Indian, I feel not all of them. I think Punjabi I cannot read or Gujarati I cannot read, but Hindi and Marathi seem very close as compared to South Indian scripts. So I want to see how these all evolved from Brahmi, but they are so different these days.
Yeah, the shapes have changed, but the philosophy is the same. We'll see that as we
Yes,
go.
yes. So this is specific, I think, Grantha script and
Yeah,
uh,
Grantha script also evolved from a South Indian uh, variant of Brahmi.
mhm,
See, Grantha script also is well suited to write Sanskrit. It has got all the phonemes, all the phonemes.
mhm,
So you can easily write Sanskrit.
right.
Yeah, when Tamil people want to write Sanskrit, they use Grantha script because
Granth.
Tamil doesn't have all the sounds. Like it has only ka and then nga. It doesn't have ka, ga, and ga
Mhm.
like that for all the
Right.
Vargas. So uh, this Grantha used means it was used till about modern time, till the start of the modern time. And
Mm,
why it is called Grantha? Because almost all the most of the Granthas in Kerala and Tamil Nadu
mm.
were written in this Grantha script. So since it was used for the Granthas, the script itself came
Is
to be known as Grantha script.
right.
And Malayalam and Tamil evolved from
Granth.
Grantha script.
Amazing. So this is also a variant of Brahmi still. Even if it is called
Yes,
Grantha script, it is still a variant of Brahmi.
yes,
Okay. So
exactly.
my dad is also asking this question that is Brahmin word coming from the word Brahmi
Oh,
language?
Brahmi, that's an interesting question. See, Brahmi came because Brahma and Saraswati is the daughter of or wife, whichever. Some people say wife, some people say uh, daughter, because Saraswati came from Brahma's Nabhi. Okay, so one name of Saraswati is Brahmi. That which
Mm,
has come from Brahma is Brahmi, and Brahmi is used in Striling in Sanskrit, in the feminine gender in Sanskrit.
I see.
So it is the name of Saraswati. So they actually named script as
After.
Saraswati. It is because it is knowledge. So Saraswati is the goddess of knowledge.
Mhm.
So they named the script as Brahmi.
Right. And I think then the Brahman word actually, keeping all the caste and jati and all of that aside, I think Brahman is someone who is learning. So that also comes
Yeah.
with like knowledge. And so
Brahma, who has Brahma Jnana, who has
he's Brahman.
knowledge of the Brahma.
Right. And Brahmi can also be Saraswati. And then obviously the scripts, she herself is Saraswati. So
Yes,
the script would also be called as Brahmi, which makes most sense.
yes.
Amazing. One more question, I think. Sorry, not question. I think Ishwarji is saying Grantha and Brahmi use
Yeah,
diacritics.
definitely. All languages, all Indic. See, all the vowel symbols are really diacritics. When we write ka and then when we write k in Devanagari, you put a line on the top, standing line.
Mhm.
In Malayalam and Tamil, you put a another sign to the left.
Oh,
So, but it's all diacritical marks,
I
and they
see.
all started from Brahmin. You see that interesting thing.
Okay. Okay. Amazing. So let's take a look at Lipi itself. And before that, Ishwarji is also saying Grantha Lipi maps to both Sanskrit and Tamil. So it is more
Yes,
universally applicable.
yes, yes.
Amazing. Okay, great. So here we have
As I
the
said, Tamil and Malayalam have certain additional sounds like
right.
ra, ra, na. So those are added in the Grantha script.
Okay. Okay. Now for this one, Lipi itself, which means a script, as you explained at the
Yes,
beginning. So this is, I think, the word Lipi printed in different scripts, right?
yes, yes,
I
yes.
only understand Devanagari and English at the end, but I don't
Yes.
understand all the ones that are in between. Uh,
The first one, top one is Brahmi,
yeah,
Lipi in Brahmi,
yeah.
then in Kharoshthi, then see that is Lipi in Grantha, the
Mm,
middle, yeah. Then Sharada script. Sharada script is also very old script. See, Kashmiri used to be written in Sharada script. Kashmiri language
Yeah,
used to be written in Sharada script, but after Islamization, they discarded Sharada and started using the Urdu script.
I see. But that one,
And
Sharada also seems very close to Devanagari. I can see that it is L and Lipi and,
yeah,
it's very similar.
yes, yes.
Mhm. Okay. And then we have Malayalam, which is
Yeah,
very different.
Malayalam, that's Malayalam. See, Gujarati is also very similar to Devanagari. See,
Very,
La is a little, the way of writing Li,
yeah,
putting the symbol, and
yeah,
the Pa is also very similar. Only the top bar is not there.
yeah, yeah, makes
See, if
sense.
you see Tamil or Malayalam, the E sign is like this, just as in Devanagari.
Right. It's the other side, I think, though,
Yeah,
instead of.
it's on the other side. Yes.
Okay. So that's the softer sound. Got it. And
Yeah.
Telugu also seems different.
Yeah. Telugu like Brahmi, the La, it goes up and then it has a small, what do you call,
Ah,
curl.
got
That curl is E for the E sound.
it. Nice. Then we also have Bengali, Odia, Kannada, Punjabi. So this
Yeah.
is still like Lipi word in that. And there's also
Yeah.
Tibetan and Sinhala and Myanmar and Thai.
Yes.
That's
They have all come from Brahmi. See, all these scripts are called Brahmic scripts in English because they have come from Brahmi.
okay.
Tibetan is from Brahmi.
Mhm.
Thai script is from Brahmi.
I see.
Then our Burma is called Myanmar now. So Myanmar's script is from
Brahmi.
what do you call Brahmi,
Mhm.
and even Laotian script, Lao. That's
I don't
also
know
from
what is
Brahmi. And
Laos.
there are many other scripts.
Yeah, what is Laos script again? I've never
Oh,
heard.
it is for the Lao language of Laos. There's a country called Laos,
Oh,
Cambodia, Laos
yeah, yeah.
in the east.
Mhm. So it's their language, and that is also having Brahmi inspiration.
Yeah, Brahmi based script because Buddhism reached there. They're all Buddhists.
Right, right.
They're still Buddhists.
Hmm.
So Buddhism reached there. Along with Buddhism, Brahmi reached there. Then later, our Chola kings also went there, and
Yes,
they also brought our Grantha script.
I see.
So it's a combination of old Brahmi and Grantha.
Right. So it seems like not just coins, but languages have also traveled a lot from India.
Oh yes,
Beautiful. Okay, now let's come to Preeti's question
yeah,
again.
yeah.
How
See,
does evolved into today's modern scripts? So
yes, yes.
this is where I think Radhakrishna ji, you can help me understand that Brahmi
Yeah,
ka
sure.
is very different
Yes.
and how it has evolved in different languages.
Yeah,
Let's.
we think that Brahmika is so much different from say Devanagari ka or Tamil ka, but if you see how the evolution came about, you
Yeah.
can find that they all came from the same source.
Mhm.
Ka is like a plus sign, a
Right.
vertical sign, and a small horizontal vertical line and a horizontal line. See,
Yeah.
and the scribes started making the horizontal sign
Beautiful.
wavy. They
Yeah.
made it wavy. Then the wave became deep,
Hmm.
and the wave became like a circle and its uh, tail.
Yeah.
And then scribes
Right.
started adding serifs, and the serifs became the bar. Finally, the big bar at the top.
This.
Now Gujarati also,
Hmm.
instead of making the horizontal line wavy, they made the vertical line wavy.
Maybe. Mm.
Now you come to Bengali. So when they when they started writing the plus sign,
Hmm.
they did not leave the pen or whatever writing instrument, but
Yeah. Good pick.
continued with that and then drew the horizontal line.
Mm.
Draw this vertical line, go up, then draw the uh, horizontal line. Once draw the vertical line, then
Hmm.
without taking the pen away, go and then uh, draw the horizontal line, and that horizontal line became a little curvy,
Mm.
little curved, at the first, and then next stage, the top bar came, and that became Bengali. Okay. Now, next line, the same thing. They added a small line to the left. Again, scribes add all this alankara, all these embellishments.
Right.
They added thing. Then some scribe made this. They thought this directly thing is not very
Beautiful.
beautiful. They made a curly thing
Yeah.
at the bottom. Then again added some more curl, and this became the Grantha script. And from the Grantha was a little simplified, little rounded, and we became Malayalam Ka.
Yeah.
Tamil did not round it. It has the sharp, the pi, the Greek pi-like top,
Mm-hmm.
but uh, it reduced one curve, made a single curve, and that's how the Tamil Ka came. Now, see the Punjabi, that's the Gurumukhi Ka. So
Mm.
some scribe tilted this. See, this
Yeah.
is vertical line.
I think this is exactly same as the Bengali ka, and then it's slightly tilted like this.
Yeah, tilted, exactly. Tilted. And then next stage is made it smooth,
Even more.
curved. And
Yeah.
then once it was curved, they then add the top bar.
Mm.
So see, so much you will not imagine that the plus sign became that Oriaka. Oriaka looks so different,
Yeah.
but it is again the same thing. See,
Same.
Odia, the second line.
Yeah. This one.
At the first glance, you will think that the plus sign can never become this
This, yeah.
Oriaka,
Very
but
true.
it becomes. So,
Right.
like that, such a history is there for all the characters.
Right. One more question, Radhakrishna ji. Ishwar ji is asking, did the medium of the script, be it palm leaves or copper
Yes,
paste,
yes,
they have an
definitely.
impact on the Indic scripts?
Yes, that
I
has an
see.
impact. See, I think this Oriya, they made it curved because if they draw a sharp line, there's a likelihood that it will tear the leaf because leaves
Oh,
grains are like that. So they
okay.
make it curved. So many things. The material has an impact.
Impact.
The
So, like,
material on which it is written, and also the material with which
you write.
we write,
Right.
both.
I think that's more like the technical thing in it, and then there is also beautification. So these two are different. Maybe
Yes,
like some of them are impacted from having a technical problem of writing it a
yes,
certain way, and the other one is more about the artist wanting to say, no, I'm going to make this
yes,
like.
yes, yes, both
Wala.
exactly. See,
Okay.
if you see the old rock inscriptions were rather angular, means lines and vertical lines, horizontal lines. But
Yeah.
when it went from rock to palm leaf or birch bark, writing became more curved.
Right.
That angularity disappeared.
Yeah. Shastri ji saying wonderful research by Radhakrishna ji here. So thank you so much, Radhak. I think this is a
Uh,
lot of research,
yeah,
to be honest.
thank
So
you.
let's talk from the move from Brahmi to
Yeah.
Devanagari, and I think this is very interesting that someone has tried to decipher that journey or trace
Yes.
that journey to see
Yeah.
how that script evolved into the modern
Exactly.
Devanagari as well.
See, we Indians forgot Brahmi.
I see.
Our grandmother. We forgot our grandmother. But an Englishman came here. He came here for something else. He was an official of the British government. But he got so interested in our culture and all that. Brahmi, I mean, our literature, architecture, and all that. And he happened to see this Brahmi letter, some inscriptions, and
Hmm.
he started deciphering that. And finally, he was able to decipher. See, he that coin we showed in the beginning,
Hmm.
Agathocles, that also helped him because it had the Greek name, so he could
Yeah.
yeah
What
correlate and
it is and
find.
decipher
So
it from there. Amazing.
yes, and so he deciphered the Brahmi script,
Hmm.
and he also collected all the different scripts through the ages. Okay, so that's what this is about. He
Right.
collected. he drew it by his own hand. It
Right.
is his thing entirely. So
But
he did a very good work.
century-wise changes based on
Yeah. Yes. He
like
recorded it. So
yeah.
we have to thank him because
Yeah, huge contribution towards understanding
yeah,
Brahmi and deciphering it for
yeah,
modern folks who are on it. So
yeah.
coming to
So
this, modern
and the,
script. Yeah, sorry.
yes, and the viewers who are interested can see the last link. That's about James Princip.
Okay, let me go back here. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is it. Amazing. So coming to Varnamala, which is modern
Oh,
Devanagari script. Let's talk.
that is very interesting topic. See, if you see English or any other language, any non-Indic language, the alphabet is haphazard, like ABC. What is the connection? What is the logic in ABCD sequence? Or in Greek, alpha, beta, gamma, whatever. Okay, there is no logic in that sequence.
Mhm,
Now, the very English word alphabet
mhm,
came from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, alpha and beta,
mhm,
and that's how alphabet came.
mhm,
Okay, so they are random. They don't have any logic.
mhm.
Whereas Indic scripts are very much logically arranged. They are arranged on the basis of the place of pronunciation, and we don't call our alphabet as alphabet. It is varnamala. It's a garland. It's a
Yeah,
beautiful garland. So the
yeah.
beautiful garland is strewn very beautifully and in a very logical order.
Yeah, I have always wondered, when I was growing up, Marathi or Hindi used to come very naturally to me as compared to English. And people used to say because obviously it's because your mother tongue, you can
Yeah.
speak it very well. No wonder in that. But now that I think of it, I think it is the grouping of letters together and the easy way of making it phonetic because the way you read is the way you write. So there's no
Right.
confusion in Marathi or Hindi. But we'll talk about Devanagari a bit in bit
Yeah.
more detail for the viewers as well to understand how the grouping of words happens in Sanskrit or Devanagari and where does it come from. So let's talk about this beautiful, like the physical
Yes.
structure that you have shown that how the sounds are produced.
Exactly. So as we said, all index scripts are arranged in the same order, and that order is based on the place of pronunciation.
Mhm,
So the Sanskrit terms for all they have Sanskrit terms
mhm,
like say uh, the the ka series. I mean, first the vowels come. Vowels are all pronounced basically from the throat, but the mouth also shapes it. But since they are basically from the throat, they are pure. So they come first. A, I, E. Then comes the consonants. So
mhm,
consonants are pronounced at using different places in the mouth. So first series ka kha ga gha nga, they are velar series, means
mhm.
pronounced from the
Throat.
throat. So it is called kanthya in Sanskrit. Kanthya means from the kantha. Kantha
Right.
means from the throat. So they are kanthya. And then comes cha cha ja jha nya.
Mhm,
They are from the talu.
mhm,
Talu means soft palate. So they are called talavya. Talavya sound. Cha cha ja jha nya are talavya. And then ta tha da dha na. They are pronounced with the murdha, with the hard palate.
mhm.
So they are called murdhanya.
Okay.
Then ta tha da tha na. They are with the
That, that-
teeth, at the teeth.
yeah.
Ta tha da tha na. So they are dantya. And then pa pha ba bha ma. You need the lips. So lips are called oshtha. So it is oshtya.
Mhm.
And so see how scientifically it is
Yeah, it's coming
arranged.
all the way from throat to the lips. So it's
Yes.
the grouping of letters is basically starting at your throat level, then you use this, then you use this,
Yes.
then you use your teeth to
We
say
come to
that,
the lips.
then
So
lips.
it is very orderly,
Yeah, it's very organized, I would say.
very organized. Exactly.
Yeah.
Orderly, organized. Very nice.
Mhm.
And next we'll see the arrangement of vowels.
Mhm.
They all come from the throat ultimately.
Yeah.
eh, And this is the Sanskrit arrangement, and it is applicable for all Indic languages.
Mhm.
U. Okay. So A is real kanthya. Okay.
Mhm.
And then E is talavira. The talu is also used in E. Of course, vowels ultimately emanate from the kantha,
Mhm.
but the mouth shapes it.
Right.
So,
So, for example,
so
when we say O, I think O is where we
yes,
shift to be a different sound.
exactly.
O.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. See, he say it is labioguttural. It starts from kantha, but it is shaped by the oshtha. Oshtha is the lip.
Mhm.
O is kanthosthya. Kantha and oshtha come into picture.
Mhm.
Similarly, U is pure osthya, lip, U.
Yeah.
Then see, and they are not strictly vowels. You
Mhm.
can say they are semi-vowels. Somehow that got added there, but they are also part of that now.
Yeah.
Strictly, they don't qualify as vowels.
Right.
And then the and ah, the anuswara and the visarga.
Right.
So it is so logically organized. So
Yes.
it's not half a side like ABC.
Yeah. And I always wondered where that Varnamala came from because it was very easy to pronounce it, but I had no idea that it was grouped
Yeah,
so technically together. I wish someone
and
taught it to me this way.
and they called it mala, means a beautiful thing, a garland.
Yes, for sure. So this is also, I think, even within that Kakha Gaganya, even in that
Yes,
there is organization, right?
yes, exactly. Yes, yes. There is organized. Say
Yeah,
ka is kanthya, but it is called ka varga. Varga means class. So
yeah.
in ka varga, you have ka, kha, ga, gha, and nga. Okay. So ka and kha are not ghosha. Aghosha means the vocal cords do not vibrate. If you keep your hands here and say ka and say ga, you feel the difference.
Ka-
Ga has more vibration from the throat.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
called ghosha. That vibration is called ghosha. And ka is alpa prana, means you don't exert much to say ka. Whereas
Mhm.
to say ka, it is mahaprana. You exert more, you emit more air, ka. And then ga is the ghosha sound, where the vocal cords vibrate more. And ga is alpa prana, just without much effort. Whereas gha, you
Prana.
have more air coming out.
Mhm.
And nga is also the same place, but it is fully nasal. So it is called anunasika in that, but it is alpa prana. You
Okay,
don't exert much.
right.
Similarly, cha is palatal,
Mhm.
talavya, the whole cha varga is
Palatal.
palatal,
Yeah.
but the first cha is again aghosha, means it is not
Sure.
this, what do you call it? Vibration is not there. So aghosha, and it is alpa prana. It is, you don't exert much. Cha means it is mahaprana. You exert a little. Actually, incidentally, this mahaprana sounds are not there in Tamil.
Okay.
All this ka, etc. It is very difficult for a Tamil person to say these sounds.
Yeah,
There is a joke.
no, I see that in other languages too, Radhakrishnaji, because if you speak Spanish, they don't
Yeah.
have the and the, but they have the and the. You know,
Yes, yes,
don't have the more stressed letters or sounds. They don't have that. So a
exactly.
Spanish person won't be able to say, the or the. It will be very hard
Yes,
for
right. They have
them,
only the. Spanish has only the. No,
right?
no da or the.
No duh. Yeah, no duh, no duh. It's very soft
Yeah.
duh. That is it. So I see that in other
All kinds
languages.
of sounds.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So cha cha ja ja nya. Then ta tha da dha na.
Mhm,
They are murdhanya,
mhm.
means from the hard palate. It is in English. It is called retroflex. I think this ta tha da dha na retroflex sounds are unique to Indian languages. All Indian languages have that sound,
Oh,
except I think Assami. Samya language, but all other Indian languages have the ta varga,
Yeah.
but outside India, I think it is not there.
Yeah, I think definitely not her, because that you can really feel your heart when you
Yeah.
say it, right? So I feel like those sounds are definitely absent outside. I can see why.
Oh, I saw a WhatsApp thing. They say that in Maharashtra, people travel to Pandharpur, okay, from
Yes,
long distance.
yes,
And
that
why they are able to travel that? They say Vitthala, 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 and that saying tha improves the what you call
yeah,
circulation here.
yes.
Just someone forwarded that. I just remembered
Yes,
that.
it is Vitthal, that is true. And they do travel a very long distance.
Mm.
In Bari, it is called as a, like, it's a holy pilgrimage, annual holy pilgrimage that starts every year. And there are so many people from so many diverse areas that travel. There are people who don't travel, but they also help out other people who are
Oh,
traveling.
okay.
So food and resting and everything, they
Yeah.
will see, you will get a lot of punya if you help them, because they are the ones who are traveling, but you are the one who is helping. And there will be
Yes.
a lot of bhajan and kirtan all the way, so you won't even realize the whole journey. You are
Right.
at the feet of Pandurang in no time, it feels like. That is how the
Right. Right.
experience was shared to me by my grandmom. I want to do it sometime, but I haven't been able to so far.
Yeah.
But
Even they travel, I think, some 200 miles or something. Just walk.
yes, it's walking, and it takes like a long time, 15 to 20
Oh,
days, something like that. You
great.
continuously keep walking. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's beautiful to do that. So yeah, talking about Varnamala and a short summary of that, I think we talked about the Varga, which is classes. We talked
Yes.
about the consonants and vowels, and how they
Yes.
are placed in in that organized fashion, which just blew my mind when I read this.
Yes.
Beautiful. So, like, what are these like some of the foundational principles of these
Yes.
letters? Let's talk
See,
about that.
see, all Indic scripts, they are ph- phonetic. Means that there's a strict one-to-one correspondence between the written symbol and the spoken word, spoken sound. So spoken sound and written symbol, the correspondence is strict one to one. Means if you write something, you cannot pronounce it differently. In English, you write C. C sometimes it is sir, sometimes it is car.
Mhm.
CAR is car,
Yeah,
but sometimes it is sir. So such sort of ambiguity is not there. It is just
right.
uh,
Yeah,
strict one to one correspondence.
the way
Then
you read is the way
oh,
you write. There's no difference.
yeah, and there is no silent or superfluous characters. All characters are
Pronounced.
pronounced,
Yes.
and nothing is left out. Also, if you write something, it has to be
Yeah.
pronounced.
That's
Then
actually, I'm thankful for that, because in French language I found it the most difficult language to learn, because there are most consonants towards the end, then I don't remember the spelling of that. It's a beautiful
yeah,
language for sure, but it's very
yeah,
hard to learn, and I'm
yes,
thankful
yes.
that
I
Sanskrit is
I
one.
think the last few letters are not pronounced at all. Sometimes.
It has some rules to that, like when to pronounce it and when to not pronounce it, but it is very
Oh,
hard
okay.
to remember everything when you're talking
Yeah.
or you're writing. So it makes it a slightly difficult to learn that language.
And
Right. Uh,
then the names of the characters are the sounds they represent.
mm,
So when you say lipi, Li is the name of that. If you write La and put that symbol, it is Li, and that is the name of that character.
right.
Similarly, P, that is the name of the character. So you
Yeah.
just say the name of the character and that becomes the word.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen in any other language. Even in they say Russian or Spanish, they are most phonetic. But
Yeah.
if you read the names of the characters, you don't get that word.
Yeah. I see what you're saying, because I think when you say A, the actual root is and
Yeah, exactly. Yes,
so here it is like, that doesn't matter. Like whatever you write, that is exactly how it is pronounced.
yes.
So there is no root or anything like that you have to remember there. So that's amazing. And this is how we are writing the word Brahmi, is it? Like, how do we
Yes,
word Brahmi?
yes.
Brahmi script is
Exactly. Say ba. This
mhm,
is ba. Then part of ra underneath, and the
right.
ah sound. It's a small horizontal line, a small horizontal line. So that becomes bra.
Mhm,
Then hma, ha and ma. It is a samyukta. It is the conjunct of ha and ma.
mhm,
So hma is written ha above and ma, and then you have have the e sound. So
right.
that e
Me.
symbol, it is this align with these two. That is the e sound. So and you combine bra and me becomes brahmi.
Yeah,
And
it's
the same way Devanagari is also written. If you see the Devanagari, the same principle.
yeah, it's b and r, and then you
Yeah,
want to combine them, so it becomes br, and then
yeah,
r to it, and then you have similar thing for her, ma, and because you want to
yeah,
conjunct them, the way that
yeah,
you do in Devanagari is you connect the two letters half and half.
yes,
Versus
yeah,
I think in Brahmi it is top and bottom, so it's
yeah,
kind
yeah, exactly.
of right. So it's Brahmi, and I think it's so hard to pronounce me at the end if you don't have that
Yeah,
Brahmi together.
yes,
But this is a wonderful way of seeing how Brahmi script and Devanagari script are very similar in
yeah,
rules. Just the representation has changed over time. I can see that.
yes. Over time, the shapes of the letters have changed, but not the philosophy or not the what you call tattva in Sanskrit.
Correct.
The tattva remains same.
Right. So that is very evident from that. And obviously, when we talk about India and we talk more specifically about ancient India, we cannot forget mathematics there. We have
Yes,
talked
exactly.
about Aryabhatta, we've talked about Bhaskaracharya, we've talked about so many important people who have contributed to the field of mathematics from India.
Yes,
Let's also talk about the representation of numbers in either
yes.
Brahmi or Devanagari script. How to
Then Brahmi has the numerals 1, 2, 3 up to 9, and 0 is a dot.
okay.
This represent first initially they in the very olden days
Mhm,
they did not have the zero, the
mhm,
place value system, but they still have the digits 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, and then sometime 2000 years ago in the first century CE or something, this started developing the decimal system
mhm,
and the representation of zero as a dot. So what we see here, the picture is a manuscript called Bakshali manuscript. Bakshali is a place name.
mhm,
It was found in that place.
mhm.
It is a Sanskrit manuscript, and it is a mathematical manuscript. There they use the zero, and see at the bottom are shown the numeral signs 1, 2, 3, 4, and all that.
Yeah.
The zero is a dot.
Mhm.
So this started developing quite early, even though they have this again. Uh, Most frequently, they were still using words, and as I said in our previous session, we saw how Bhaskaracharya represented his year of birth and all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes they still used that technique.
Right.
The Although they have the numerals,
Not. Yeah.
they use that because see the all the ancient Indian things had to be remembered. They did not fully depend on the written word.
Right.
They put more emphasis on remembering things.
Correct.
So in that case, it is better to have the letters so that it can be incorporated in a shloka, in a
Hmm.
in poetry and remembered. That could be why they did not extensively use this thing. But if you go to the next slide, you'll see that our Aryabhatta, Bhaskaracharya,
Mhm.
and Brahmagupta, they all used numerals. They used the place value systems. They
Mhm.
used the numerals.
Yes.
They wrote 1, 2, 3. Say about Bhaskaracharya, first he would say in words like shloka, number, then he will say Ankair api. Anka means numeral, Ankair api means and
In numbers.
numerals also, and then he will write in numerals. So
Yeah.
they used he and Brahmagupta extensively used the numerals,
Okay.
and from there to time numerals started to be used extensively. And
Mm.
this on the right, the picture.
Yeah.
Actually, I took the photo last year when I went to Khajuraho. That is a magic square
Yeah.
in Parshvanath temple. So
Okay.
the Parshvanath temple was built between 950 CE and 970 CE,
Hmm.
and at that time itself they had inscribed that magic square. So
Yeah.
you can see the numerals. It is almost like the Devanagari numerals. See,
Yeah.
this is 7, 12, 1, 14, 2, 13, 8, 11, and it's all place value. See, 10 is written 10, 11 is written 11,
Yes.
and 15 is written as 15. So
Mm.
they had the place value, they had the zero symbol, 1,000 years, more than 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
All the Westerners didn't have that 1,000 years ago. So
I
and
think.
and this is magical. So if you add it vertically
Mhm.
or horizontally or diagonally, you will
Every,
get 34.
right. Everything adds up to 34, and they have also put this one in stone, which is again like
Yes.
I'm thankful because this shows like in modern times we try to think about games like Sudoku where we are trying to not repeat the numbers in the same row or same column. This one is truly astonishing because whether you go row or column or even diagonal, you are seeing the addition is coming up to be 34, and it's really really
Because,
it is
yes.
really brilliant. Amazingly thought through. And thank you for this picture also, Radhakrishna ji, because I think you there's a way that you can say, okay, this is the square that I saw, but when you see the
Yeah.
picture, I can see that it's exactly the same. Amazing. So I think we talked a little bit about Brahmi script being lost in time for a bit in India. Uh,
Yeah.
we we didn't know how to read it, unfortunately. So
Yes.
yeah, that is really unfortunate. But thanks to the Englishman who deciphered it out of interest, and it's here and available for all of us to learn today.
Mm. It's like forgetting our own grandma.
Where you don't want to do that. So we
So
also talked a bit about beauty. Can you talk a little bit more about
yeah,
it?
see, beauty is there. See, orderliness creates beauty, and our script are ordered. That they are arranged in an orderly manner, in a very scientific way. So that is the beauty that adds beauty. And so I just represented beauty by a lotus flower.
Yes.
And incidentally, I just asked AI, artificial intelligence, to draw a good lotus flower, and it came with this.
With this, it's truly beautiful. I think lotus is very prominent in Saraswati also. She's usually, she's sitting within a
Yes.
lotus, which makes sense because all of the languages and arts and those kind of things are beautiful, and that is how they should be represented. It's comes down to lotus. So I think Radhakrishna, this is something that I've put together for all of our viewers who are more interested in learning or further understanding the scripts. These are the links that you can use. Radhakrishna ji and I are also going to update the video description with a PDF of today's material eventually, so that you will have access to this. Click on these links, go ahead and learn more about these things. Come back to us with more questions. We would also love that. Radhakrishna ji would love that. He's an amazing teacher. And this is where we have come to an end. If you have any questions, please connect back with us. We are always happy to have more questions from people, more recommendations of what you want to learn as well. That is also something that we would love to put an effort on. Once again, Radhakrishna ji, thank you so much for putting all
Thank
of
you
this
all.
material together, because I don't think so anyone can organize it so well in time in terms of like flowing from Brahmi to the modern scripts of today.
Thank you. Thank you all. Mhm.
Thank you so much. Okay. So, with that, we are ending today's session. So, as usual, I would say please like our video if you love the content of this. If you like it, definitely share it with your friends and family. And also, please comment on the video. We would love to get back to you. Don't forget to subscribe. We'd love to have you back on the show with more content, more information. And once again, thanks a lot.
Thank you all.